Hey guys, this is Tad, your homestead provider. We're back here in the kitchen mainly because it's raining again here here at the house. It's this has been one of the wetter July and August I can remember. I can't remember a time it's rained this much. Anyway, it's coming down right now, so what's better to do than make some homemade Ro-tel? So I picked these before it started coming a flood, and got in the house, and we're here. So we're going to go through the process of making this Ro-tel mainly for soups and chilies and stuff like that, because we eat a ton during the fall. And we're going to go through the process of making this and canning it. So hang out with us and let's learn something. Alrighty, now we're back. I've got all my tomatoes washed. But just a few. There's a few left that I'll have to put in a different pot. But we got them all washed. I filled them up with water, put them in these pots. We're going to heat it up to almost boiling. Now this is going to let us peel the skins off really easy. So we're going to heat it up to where it's almost boiling, and turn it off and cool it down real quick. Pour the hot water out of it. Fill it up with cold water, and then let it set for a minute, and that'll allow the skins to kind of fall off and make it a whole lot easier on us. So we're going to go through that process. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a minute. Now, as you can see, our tomatoes are almost to the boiling point. They're kind of starting to bubble. So see how these are starting to peel right here? All them right there? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to turn these off and set them, pour the hot water out, and set them back on the stove, and we'll just let them cool there. And you want it to cool for a good little while, otherwise whenever you're cutting these up, it'll just burn your hands. So I'm fixing to turn these off. I'm going to drain out the water, put some ice cold water in it, and then we'll just wait a few minutes, let it all cool down. We'll be back here in a few minutes. Alrighty, so our tomatoes have cooled off quite a bit. So I'm fixing to start peeling them pretty good and coring them. So we're gonna see how that skin just falls off right there. Makes it a whole lot easier. So we'll kind of clean up, get any bad spots off of it while we're doing this. We're gonna core it, basically just taking the hard spot out right here. Now this, it actually calls for paste tomatoes, which are, well, this right here. I've got a mixture of both. I used Amish paste this year, and it didn't really, the plants didn't really do just all that great. So I don't know if I'll be using that same kind next year. But anyway, we got some. So you're basically just peeling them, and I'm quartering it while I'm doing it and taking the core out. So recipe calls for 12 cups of tomatoes. We'll kind of, I'm not real exact, so we'll kind of do something close to 12 cups. Whenever you're doing this, the recipe does not have to be exact. It's no big deal at all, really. So coring all this, cutting it up while I'm doing it. So we'll just go through all these right here, and we'll be back when we get done. Alrighty, now guys, I went ahead and measured this out because I ended up with quite a bit more tomatoes than I thought I would. But this is 12 cups of peeled and quartered tomatoes. So we're gonna do that right there, and I'm gonna get my recipe right here. So I didn't grow any green chili peppers this year. Didn't really think about making Ro-tel. So I went ahead and bought some. This is 4 ounces worth. The recipe calls for a cup, so I'm going to use 2. There is roughly a cup of green chilies right there. And then we're going to add some salt. we are going to do 2 teaspoons of salt. So once again, I'm using my Redmond real salt. There's 2 salts. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We are going to do 1 teaspoon of oregano. And I can't pronounce this, ground coriander, I guess. But anyway, this calls for 1/2 teaspoon of that right there. So I'm going to mix all this up. Now you can add some jalapenos to this if you wanted to. My bunch is sensitive to hot stuff, so I guess that's the easy way to put it. But I'm not going to add any right now. I might do some more. I am going to have enough to do at least another half batch, so I might add some jalapenos to that. But if you wanted to make it hot, fresh jalapenos would be the way to go. So I am going to turn this on, stir it up, mix it up really good. And the recipe says to bring to boil and simmer for 10 minutes. So we're going to be working on that. And when it's done simmering for the 10 minutes, we'll be right back. Alrighty, so our Rotel has been simmering for 10 minutes, so it's ready to be put in a jar and put in the water bath. So I'm going to get my jars out and start working on that process. There's that. I'm gonna just dump it in there. Now you want to keep it just below the rim of the jar. You don't want it don't want to get it too full. So that's what I'm gonna do. Keep it right there. Now my jars got really hot in the oven, so I'm gonna set them out here and let them be cooling while we're doing this. So we're going to continue putting our Rotel in these jars. There's that one. There's that one. Now I can fit about 7 pints in my water bath here, so we'll get about 7. There is 4 there. This will make 5. I think it might be more than that. I'm not. We'll figure it out as we go. So, all right. While I got that, let's go ahead and put the lids on these here. As always, wipe it down, and I have my jars in the back here in some warm water because I like to get the seal, which is this right here, around it, like good and hot. That way to help it seal. That also brings up something else. Do not buy foreign made cannon lids. So they're a little bit cheaper sometimes. You can buy them on bulk in Amazon, the foreign made ones. But you know what? I had 3 at least that I found so far of my green beans that come unsealed while they're in the basement. So I found them yesterday. So it's not worth wasting your groceries that you've worked pretty hard to grow and can and everything, it's not worth it. So just pay a little bit more and get the good ones made in the United States. All these right here are Ball. There's several different brands that's made in the United States, but Walmart had Ball, and they are made here, so that's what we're going to use for the moment. So. That's pretty aggravating. But I didn't buy them this year. I've had them for a while. Mainly used for just lids for honey jars. So I've not ever really had to seal them. So that's the reason. That's the reason I didn't find out till just now that it would do that. Now I'm using wide mouth lids, or wide mouth jars right here, and lids. That's just because that's what I had. So you can use regular mouth just as good as anything. So wop it down there. So looks like two more fit in here. So the wide mouths are, I guess 6, 7, 8 will fit in here. I guess I was off a little bit. So let's finish this up right here. Now I have a little bit left right here, so I'm just going to save that for the next batch. I am going to have enough tomatoes to make another batch, so we'll just do that. Well, my mic died right there, but what I was saying is that you like to have the water just above the lids of the jars whenever you're doing a water bath. It helps it seal. So we're going to let this water bath for 40 minutes. Is what the recipe called for. So we're going to do that, and we'll be back here in just a minute. All right, guys, well, that's warming up, starting a water bath. Something else I thought of here, too. So a can that you buy in the store of the Rotel is 10 ounces. All right, well, the 10-ounce mark on this jar is right there. So I made this one about 10 ounces. This was what was left over, so it's roughly a can of Rotel. But the rest of them I filled up to the rim of the jar, like you would any other cannon. So it's going to be a little bit more, which is fine. We like Rotel, we like tomatoes in all of our soups. The majority of this will be used in the soup, so but I just wanted to leave you with that. We'll be back here as soon as the water bath gets done. Something else too, I keep on adding to this, but I didn't do it in this simply because I forgot. But the recipe says that you can add lemon juice to your tomatoes and it'll keep them from browning. So I'm not overly concerned with it. I'll try to use these first from the shelf, but you should add a teaspoon of lemon juice to each of these jars to keep it from browning. It just keeps it nice and red. Doesn't affect the taste, but I'm gonna add it to this one. Them right there I'm gonna let go. We'll just we'll eat them first whenever we get them off the shelf. All right, guys, so it has been 40 minutes, so I'm gonna turn this off and start getting these jars out of here. Let them sit here and start cooling. So that is making Rotel and canning it. So if you like what we're doing, if you're enjoying the videos, enjoying the content, like this video, subscribe to the channel. That just lets us know that that you're enjoying it. Oh, you already heard one pop, so they're sealing good right now, and we'll let them sit here, cool down, let them all seal, and I'll put them up. And so anyway, this is Tad, your homestead provider. God bless.